Baybars é presidente do Fórum Mundial de Investimentos Anjo, que é o WBAF, co-presidente do Global Business Angel Network, da GBAN, que nós também somos parte, Anjos do Brasil, vice-presidente da European Trade Association of Business Angels, Seed Funds and Early Stage Market Players, o GOEBAN, é presidente da Business Angels Association of Turkey, da Turquia, e é embaixador do Fórum Mundial de Empreendedorismo da Turquia e dos países dos Balcãs, e presidente de várias outras iniciativas, membro do Conselho Consultivo, do Conselho de Pesquisa do Sudoeste da Europa, na Grécia, e autor de vários livros. Baybars will talk about to us of how can we do that. We always listen that angel investment is a local thing, but the world is changing. And now we want to understand how to do that between the angel networks. So thank you very much for flying all the way here. Please come here. And thank you for being with us. It's an honor for us.
She said, I don't speak Portuguese, which is right. But could you please come back? I want to show my skill about how I'm good at reading Portuguese, by the way. Can you come back? Yes. Congresso de Investimento Anjo da Anjos do Brasil. This is the skill I have just discovered, by the way. A few minutes ago, I wanted to read it to Casio, and he said, oh, this is how we read. Also in Turkish, we read like this. Because this is the CIA meeting, I wanted to start the meeting with Obama photo, if you don't mind. So, in 2010, Obama hosted the World Global Entrepreneurship Congress in Washington, D.C., the presidential summit on entrepreneurship. I was the only angel investor he made personal meeting. So this is the photo of after this meeting, and you can Google the CNN International's interview with me in Question Means Business. Immediately after this meeting, I don't want to waste time by repeating the same things, however, you can watch it. What did we talk in this meeting? This is the question. The question is simple, as a matter of fact. Answer is also simple. The name of the summit he made was Entrepreneurship Summit. And I asked the question to him, if he would become the president of the United States in 1950s or 60s, he would again call this summit as Entrepreneurship Summit. What's your idea? Because entrepreneurship word is, as a matter of fact, a new word in our literature. In the last 10 years, 15 years. I don't remember I was using entrepreneurship word so much when I was studying at the high school, for example, or at the university. Or startup word, or scale up. These are new words in our terminology. I think he wouldn't call it as Entrepreneurs Summit. Maybe he would call it as Inventors Summit. Because in 1950s, invention was very important. Everybody was focusing on invention. Market was ready to consume anything invented. Because markets needed new things in 1950s, 60s. To boost economy, to empower economy, inventors were very, very important players. But today, this is not the case. Today, the game changed. Today, inventors are not important. Almost everything invented. Whatever you think was taught before you, somewhere in the world, and you are able to reach this information immediately from your internet. But today, invention is not important, but innovation is very important. Because innovation is bringing new jobs, new wealth, and of course new tax for governments. If you invent something, this means you are very intelligent. This is good. Congratulations. But if you cannot convert this invention to innovation, which means if you cannot convert it to business, this means this society doesn't need you so much. Unfortunately, this is the case. Because if you cannot convert it to business, no new tax, no new jobs, no new wealth, no new social justice, by the way, more social justice. So governments of today are very intelligent. They support innovation. Because it is something they need. Okay, good. But who will convert invention to innovation? Who will do it? Because generally, inventors are intelligent people lacking of some skills to convert their inventions and ideas to business. So, entrepreneurs are coming to the stage. Entrepreneurs are the crucial, very important player of this game because they are going to convert invention to innovation. So Obama made a good step. He declared, he announced that 21st century is the century of entrepreneurs. And I said in this meeting, one word is missing. 21st century is not the century of entrepreneurs. 21st century is the century of smart entrepreneurs. Why? Because everybody is entrepreneur now. Everybody has a business idea. Everybody wants to make their own business. Economies of the world are going down. Population is increasing. More educated people are coming. And governments are making investment and pushing investments to IT and mobile technologies, which means we are going to recruit less people tomorrow for travel agents because everybody is going to make their bookings online. Or less people for banks because everybody will make their banking issues through internet. So in that case, of course, entrepreneurship is now launching a business, setting up a business is in the agenda of even secondary school students. Not only adults, not only university, even secondary school students are thinking about launching their business. Okay, 21st century entrepreneurship age, this is good. But there is an important challenge of entrepreneurs of the 21st century. Access to finance. Unfortunately, even grandmothers today are not so keen to finance the business idea of their grandsons, granddaughters. This is the case. 30 years ago, I remember my grandmother was very ready to give at least around $10,000 for every grandson if they have a business idea. Today, not even $1. This is the case. So, it is very natural to see angel investment and angel investor words more today in our literature. And also in the agenda of governments. Why? Because angel investors are really behaving like their family members. Sources of finance available for entrepreneurs are bootstrappers, crowdfunding platforms, banks, VCs, co-investment funds, wealth management institutions, private equity funds, and government grants. Those are the main sources of finances available to find finance. None of them are able to put more than money. None of them. only angel investors are able to put more than money. Mentorship, know-how, networking. And this is something what entrepreneurs of today really need to compete in the markets. Without know-how, without mentorship, and without networking, it is really hard to convert an invention to innovation. This is the case. I wanted to clarify this picture first because the main subject of my speech is positioning angel investment groups to boost cross-border investments. This is the main subject. But until coming here, we have to understand who these business angels are and how someone becomes a business angel. My question, the second question, is again simple. My grandmother has now, let's say, $100 million because my grandfather died, and she is 95 years old, owner of the factory, paying the most tax in the city, and she has some bank account documents and giving to the government, hey guys, here is the document, this is my $100 million, and now please accredit me as an angel investor. Do you think my grandmother can be advised as a good angel investor for entrepreneurs? Do you think so? You don't have grandmother, I think. So you couldn't think immediately, you couldn't imagine what like a grandmother this is. I think the worst thing is to advise this grandmother to start up as an angel investor, because this grandmother will only be able to put money, that's all. And this is something this entrepreneur can find from banks, from other sources of finance available. So, angel investors, mentorship, networking, and know-how are very important non-financial instruments to support startups, scale-ups, high-growth businesses, entrepreneurs, and SMEs. Now I will ask the third question. Sometimes we use the word startup, sometimes we use the word SME, small and medium-sized enterprise. Good. What is the difference? Why sometimes we mention about entrepreneurs as startup, but sometimes as SME? Because the mindset of the entrepreneur is different. Let's say this blue one is the startup, this blue one is the SME, this gray one. This gray one has a traditional mindset. He wants to launch his business, he will make his business, he will never sell it, he will never make an exit. His son, his daughter will come to the office when they graduate from the university, and they will run this. This is a family business. This is SME. He only wants to sell water, let's say. Okay. Let's look at the startup. He says, I am a smart entrepreneur, not an entrepreneur. So we are calling the age of the 21st century is the blue chairs century. He says, okay, I will sell water too, but I will also sell the company I launch to sell this water. So I will kill two birds with one stone. So he is smart. So he develops a business plan and business model in such a way that he can make an exit 5 or 7 or 10 years later. So both start with the same business idea, selling water, but they follow different ways to reach their goals, because goals are different. So let's look at these two entrepreneurs' journey. Everything starts with a entrepreneurship stage. Entrepreneurship is a word I contributed to the English language, because I couldn't find a word to describe. I want to be an entrepreneur. Great. But you are not an entrepreneur. You want to be an entrepreneur. So you are entrepreneur. Unfortunately, most entrepreneurs don't know the difference between entrepreneur and entrepreneur. They think they are entrepreneur. They are coming to us investors, say, hey, I have a business idea, invest me. That's all. Anyone who has a business idea is at the entrepreneurship stage, and he is or she is out of the angel investors' scope. It is very clear. If you have a business idea, then you start thinking, and then you come to innovation part immediately. These are the steps of the innovation of the smart entrepreneur, and this startup compass theory was studied by Sheffield University, and also you can download the full theory because they made a research about this claim, because they said Baybars is claiming something. These are the steps of smart entrepreneurs. If you follow these steps, you become an angel investor without losing money. This is what he claims. So they made a research in 20 countries, about 20 countries, and now it is used in some MBA programs. You can download it from Baybars Altuntas Startup Compass Theory in Google. I change the steps, as you see. From entrepreneurship stage, you are not jumping to entrepreneurship. You are jumping to innovation part, which means now I have to think about the business idea I developed. Is it really something going to sell, or is it really something going to waste my money and my time? Which one? Yeah, it is very important. In order to secure the sales success of my business idea, sales success is very important, because if I cannot sell, then goodbye. Then he is out. Is there a Dragon's Den or Shark's Tank here in Brazil? Shark's Tank program. I am one of the sharks in the Turkish version on Bloomberg TV. So I listened to many entrepreneurs coming to stage who unfortunately couldn't answer the second stage question. Why the consumer is going to change his idea about buying the consuming the product he or she has been consuming for the last 20 years, but will start consuming yours. This is coffee, this is good. He sells this coffee, he has been selling it for the last 20 years, and he's making good business. And you see that he's making good business, then let's launch another coffee shop here at the other corner of the street. Give billboard advertisements, brochures, etc. Spend money from my own pocket as an entrepreneur and say, hey guys, it is $1. This is new coffee, it is also $1. Do you think consumer is going to change his idea immediately and will come to you? I don't think so. Why? Because I am an entrepreneur who launched my own business in Turkey from zero, from scratch. What I am telling you here is not something I learned from the books. I read many books and combine both. What I learned until now is two things. If you leave this speech by forgetting everything I tell you, but please don't forget these two things. The first thing is, the most intelligent, the smartest player of this entrepreneurship game is consumer, not entrepreneur, not the landlord, not the government, consumer. He is very, very intelligent. And the second thing I learned is the most valuable source of finance is consumer money. Because they buy and they only look for the claim. That's all. You claim the good coffee. If you give the good coffee, then game goes on. Otherwise, it stops and he changes his idea and goes to another shop. So, even more valuable, I think, than money, than the angel investor money is the consumer money. But unfortunately, even consumer cannot put networking, mentorship, and know-how. They cannot. So this angelship and the money of angel investor comes together and really creates a good success story for entrepreneurs who want to launch their businesses from scratch. Anyone who has money can put money. Even my grandmother can buy a factory and becomes the owner of this factory. There is no problem. But the smart one, the real entrepreneur, is the one who can make it from scratch by using the idle capacity, by using the network, by using the mentorship, actually bringing them together and prepare a business model, not a business plan. Entrepreneurs think developing a business plan is something very important. It is very important for university lecturers. You can get more grade if you put more pages in your business plan. This is good. But for investors, sorry, we are not joking. I don't care your business plans. Because I was entrepreneur and I prepared these business plans and I filled these Excel sheets, I know how to make it. I am focusing on the business model. How am I going to make money? That's all. So, if you say, my coffee is $1, and if I say, okay, my coffee is also $1, but you will dream very nice at the weekend if you drink my coffee. I am putting an innovation here. I am putting a new promise. I am telling the consumer that you are not going to spend more than $1 than the other shop, but you will have an extra value if you consume my coffee. Try it. All of us are consumers. What are we going to do in that case? We see on the billboard there is a new promising. We say, let me try it. One time, $1, isn't it? That's all. What do I lose? If after I try it, I find the value he claims is right, then the entrepreneurship journey of this entrepreneur starts. So entrepreneurship journey starts after innovation. Not only after issuing the first invoice. I don't care about the first invoice. I care about the sustainability of this invoice. Will this entrepreneur be able to reissue this invoice? This is very important. Okay, after my store starts, and of course marketing and sales part comes. So this is stage, fourth stage, where the life compass of the entrepreneur changes. If I go on selling, then go ahead. If I cannot sell more, this means go ahead. Start thinking another business idea. Try to make another innovation and convince the consumer. That's all. So we understand if this entrepreneur is really going to create a success story at the fourth stage. We don't need to wait more. But after the fourth stage, something interesting is coming. The management part. Because until now, I was an individual with a good business idea, trying to make something new, and consumer loved it, and it is good, it is working. But now I have to move to management part. Because by time, entrepreneur, yeah, it is something like this. Could you please come? Yeah. Entrepreneur is going to. No. PowerPoints. I couldn't. After this. Yeah, they memorized him. He is taller than me, that's enough. Yes. Okay. And here, branding comes, and then independent entrepreneurs start calling you. They say, hey, you made a good business, we want to represent your brand in our own region. They start making franchise contracts. And then, of course, after you make the franchise contracts, institutionalization starts. As a matter of fact, institutionalization should start come before franchising. I mean, when you complete your institutionalization process, you should franchise. But in practice, this is not the case. In practice, after the independent entrepreneurs come and get the franchise, your institutionalization starts. And after this, the second important compass moment is coming. Now, you have your own stuff, you have your own shops, you have your franchisees also own their shops, their stuff, etc. You are a big family. Now you have to decide, are you going to become the employee of the business you created? Or are you going to hire a professional team, CEO, etc., and you will become the advisor of this team? You have to decide it. There are two ways. Either you are going to be the leader, or you are going to become the employee. This one, SME one, generally becomes the employee of their own companies. This startup one is the smart one, who really launches immediately a CEO, a team, etc., and comes to the board. If he comes to the board, this means he is the leader of his business, not the employee, and he has time, money, know-how, network, which he didn't have in the beginning. At the end of the story of this journey, you have many new things as an asset of you. Your real asset is now not only money, but you have time. This is very important to concentrate on new developments, new business ideas. This one cannot do it because he is working. He is working in his own company. He cannot spend time for new developments. He cannot spend time for making mentorship or transfer know-how or creating new network. He cannot do it. But this one is the smart one. He has. This means now it is time to give back to the society. Isn't it? Because in the beginning, you had nothing. But now you have many things. This society gave this to you. These consumers. You gave something to the consumer. This consumer gave an opportunity to you to develop your network, money, bank accounts, etc., etc. So the criteria of the success in the beginning and the criteria of the success at the 9th stage are different. In the beginning, only one criteria. Downloading from the society from the world to my bank account. As much as I can, I am successful. But here, uploading the society 10 minutes. Don't worry. So I will upload now as an angel investment. I think is a good way to upload to society, isn't it? Some people enjoy donating to church, to hospital, make schools, etc., to give something to back to the society before they die. I think it is a good way for entrepreneurs coming from scratch to give back to society, to make angel investment, to startups. Because you are sharing all your lives, your journey with them. Okay, since you are now an angel investor, now we have to focus on some statistics. Because we have only 10 minutes, I am forwarding a little bit quickly. OECD statistics show that 1.2% of entrepreneurs in the world are able to reach access to finance of investors. 1.2%. And one entrepreneur in every 10 entrepreneurs who reached finance of investors is able to create a success story. This means if I'm a smart entrepreneur, this means I will become a smart investor at the end, isn't it? And if I'm a smart investor, and if I know these statistics, and if I have 100,000 real to put in startups, I don't put my 100K to him. Because I know that 10% is the success ratio. I put 10K to him. 10K to him, 10K, 10K. I distribute my risk. One of them will become a success story, but I don't know which one. Good. But he needs 100, not 10. He also needs 100, not 10, to scale up the business. This means I have to find other investors like me to put other 10Ks and complete this 100, isn't it? So I have to create a business angel network or angel investment group. These are same things. So angel investor groups are very important. Because it is not something smart to invest all your money to one entrepreneur alone, but it is very smart idea to invest your 100K to 10 entrepreneurs as a group. As a matter of fact, this is also something very good for the entrepreneur, because if I put 100K to you, you will have only one network, one mentorship, and one know-how. But if I put 100K as a group, you will have 10 network, 10 mentorship, 10 know-how, isn't it? So, angel groups are every day increasing in every society. Many countries are developing angel law. In Turkey, for example, in my country, it is the third country in Europe who passed the angel law. The Treasury Department is accrediting angel investors and giving a tax incentive. If I put 100K to you, then I'm able to deduct 75K. This is the highest amount in the world, 75%, from my personal tax income. And government is matching the same amount of money I put to you through science parks, technology parks, etc., etc. I don't want to go, in 10 minutes I cannot go to these details. So, the second advantage of angel groups is, I am a Turkish angel investor, and you are a fintech company in Porto, you said? Sao Paulo. So I will invest in you, but I'm living in Istanbul. 13 hours direct flight. So, sorry. I love the idea. Business model is perfect. I smelled, yes, it smells money. This is good. But I should find a local angel investor group to co-invest with me. Otherwise, I'm not interested in you. So cross-border investment means, as a matter of fact, angel groups. No angel group, no cross-border investment. Is cross-border investment so important? I think very important. Why? Because, could you please come to the website, by the way? Because I am investing my money to your fintech. Why? Why I am investing to you? Who will answer this question? Why I am putting my 100K to your company? I'm not a foundation, by the way. Because I have to make exit with a good multiplier, isn't it? Otherwise, I'm not playing game here. Good multiplier means around 20 multiplier. Because 10 of them, some of them will bankrupt, some of them will flow, and the mean will come to around 3.5 multiplier. I know it. So I have to make a successful exit in the next 5 to 7 years in order to reinvest in new startups. Otherwise, we cannot create a sustainable startup ecosystem, isn't it? Good. But in order to make good exit, unfortunately, today, exit markets are not so much. Silicon Valley, London, Singapore, there are a few, 5 minutes, okay, this is good. Because if that's all, then, so we have to create, we have to know how to make successful exits. In order to accelerate this exit strategy process, I have to cooperate with global angel investors who made exits successfully before, isn't it? So cross-border investment is good for startup. Because if startup expects everything from me, and if I'm a local angel investor who has never made an exit before, there is a problem here. Because we won't be able to make exit. So we have to connect these angel investor and startup together with global investment markets for better exits. Better exits means company valuation. I will not mention more about this, but only one to give you an idea. Unfortunately, company valuations, the same startup, for example, you are a fintech, your company valuation is 500,000 real in Brazil. If you come to Europe, it is 500,000 euro. But if you go to Silicon Valley, it is $3 million. So same entrepreneur, same business model, everything is same. But when markets change, also company valuation changes. Who will alert you and your investor about this? This global investor. So I think Apex and Anjo do Brazil, dear Cas, you are making great business here because they brought me here. No, I mean, this is not a, but yes, 13 hours here, congratulations. And I think you are bringing more global players and connecting the ecosystem with these people. It is very important. I listened to the presentation of Israel today. It was great. Connecting the ecosystem with the capital of innovation, Tel Aviv. Perfect. So this is, I think, we have to now, before you bring another paper, Angel Investor Review, I am now the main players of the game. In Europe, in 1999, EBAN was founded by European Union, the European Trade Association for Business Angels. I'm vice president there. We have 20,000 angel investor members. In 5 or 6 years later, ACA, Angel Capital Association, was founded in the United States. And ABAN in Nigeria represents the African Business Angels Network. The Middle East Business Angel Network is in Dubai, based in Dubai. In Singapore, the Bansea is there. And in South America, the biggest one is, thanks Casio to your efforts, Anjo de Brazil. So we made a good agreement, great agreement as a matter of fact, in our last Congress in Istanbul with Casio. And my presence is a little bit output of this agreement, not a little bit, maybe completely output of this agreement. So I think you should know that last year 9.7 billion euro was invested in Europe by 340,000 business angels in startups. And this amount is $26 billion in the United States by 320,000 business angels. When you divided the figures, you will see that in Europe, each angel investor invested 5,000 euro. This means angel investment is not a game of millionaires. 5,000 euro, if you can compensate, is something, a good way to start, to learn how to make it. Many CEOs, chief executive officers of corporates, know how to manage companies. By then, they don't know how to launch company. My advice always them to become a member of an angel group, put 5,000 euro as if you are going to an investment course and learn by doing. Become 1 year, 12 months a silent investor and see what is doing and develop your investment skill. Because when you are retired, you will have time, money, and network to support these startups. This Angel Investor Review is the magazine, online version of the. You can Google and see what is here. Could you please click the World Congress of Angel Investors WBAF 2019? This is also coming like this. Yes. On 17-19 February, we will meet in Istanbul together, and these are the things that you can see. Okay. Can we go to this? Just a second. World leaders part. I think you should, yes, translate. Can you click this World Congress of Angel Investors, W1? This one. Yes, click it. Yes, that's good. In this Congress, first time in the history of WBAF, we are opening the doors. Yes, close it, please. The doors to startups. 66 startups will be pitching to investors. And from Brazil, Anjo de Brazil is going to make the selections. You can send to info@wbaforum.org. We will forward it to Casio directly. And his team is going to check who will be able to come to Istanbul. Last year, around 1,000 angel investors from around 80 countries joined this Congress. This is the biggest Congress in the world in a little bit by the way, World Business Angel Investment Forum is a partner, affiliate partner of G20, Global Partnership for Financial Inclusion. Time expired. 1 minute. Could you please come to the leaders part that I showed you, WBAF leaders. Can you come in? I think it is not there. Okay, Investment Academy is there, publications is there, review, excellence awards, etc. You can check whatever happening. And WBAF leaders website, yes, WBAF World Leaders in the left part. You see it? In the blue line left part. WBAF World Leaders. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, yes. No, 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 down, down. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Okay, could you please come to countries? Countries. No, no, countries, yes. And find Brazil. These are the countries where WBAF is active. Or, yes, Could you please, yes, I think he deserves it. And also you can go down because there's a very good report about what is happening in Brazil. Now I want to end my speech by thanking to Casio and to Apex very much for this organization. But I want one promise from Casio. WBAF board decided to appoint him as the High Commissioner for Brazil, as you see. This is my first time in Brazil, and before coming here, I spent my 3 days in Copacabana and 3 days in Ipanema. So, dear Casio, is it possible to appoint me as the High Commissioner for Copacabana and Ipanema? Because you can be sure I will represent World Business Angels community very well in Copacabana and Ipanema. We have only 3 minutes video. Can you please put the video, and then I will say goodbye.